Hello, my pretties. It's the Lion Queen here. Now, today with Shadows and Pretties, this is episode 198. So, we're at least 2 episodes away from reaching 200 episodes of Shadows and Pretties. Since I started up Shadows and Pretties back in 2020, so it was about 2 years ago. And we're still doing pretty good with these episodes where I would review certain movies, TV shows, video games, and other stuff. Today I'm going to be reviewing this movie that came out in 2017. It has been produced by Disney PIXAR Animation called Coco. Now, this movie is pretty much takes place in Mexico to Miguel and his family around during the Mexican holiday time called Day of the Dead, to which the film was scripted by Molina and Matthew Arch from the story. And of course, Disney Pixar began developing the animation of this film back in 2016. So fortunately, this was released sometime and premiered sometime in October of 2017 in Morelia, Mexico during the film festival, which it was then theatrically released in Mexico during that following week. And it was before the Dia de Muertos in the it was eventually released in the United States in 2017 in November, as well as everything else. So I saw this movie in theaters back in 2017, and I honestly thought it was a really good movie. Now, I ended up going to see it with a friend because when I was in school, like high school at the time, I wanted to go on a field trip with, the learning center to, see this movie, but unfortunately due to circumstances, I was not able to because my final year of high school was rough. I was just basically treated like a tied up animal or a caged tiger, and nobody would really gave a shit about me, which is why I'm glad I'm out of school because, with all honesty, screw school at this point. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. I'm going to be basically explaining about what the plot of this movie is, in case for those who haven't watched it in a while. But if you don't want to hear any spoilers, I recommend clicking off of this video if you don't want to hear any spoilers. I love the storyline and the animation of this movie. It's amazing. Like, it's got a pretty good storyline. It's really amazing. I really do like the concept of this movie. It's got really good acting, to which I really do like that it's got really, really good acting. And I definitely gotta say it's really amazing. So, with the concept of it of its own self was really amazing. Like, they actually got a couple of a lot of things that go on, but it is a really good movie for what this one is. So anyways, I think we should just get started with me explaining the plot of this movie, because I've been monologuing for about almost 4 minutes now. So this takes place in Santa Celia, Mexico, where Miguel, who is the main character, dreams about becoming a musician. Although his family strictly forbids music, as his great-great-grandmother, Imelda, was married to a man who had left her and their daughter, Coco, to pursue in a music career, but when he never returned, Imelda banished music from her family's life before starting a shoemaking business. So now, Miguel, who lives with an elderly Coco and their family, including Miguel's parents and his abuelita, who are still shoemakers, he secretly idolizes this idol called Ernesto de la Cruz, a famous musician who died decades earlier, and teaches himself to play guitar from Ernesto's old films. On the Day of the Dead, though, Miguel accidentally damages the picture frame that holds a photo of Coco with her mother on the family ofrenda, uncovering that the hidden section of the photograph shows his great-great-grandfather holding Ernesto's famous guitar, concluding that Ernesto is his great-grandfather, and inspired Miguel to enter a talent show for the Day of the Dead, despite his family's objections. However, though, breaking into Ernesto's Mausoleum, Miguel then takes his guitar to use in the show, but once he strums it, he becomes invisible to everyone in the village plaza. However, he can interact with his skeletal dead relatives, who are visiting the land of the dead for the holiday, taking him back with them. They also learned that Imelda cannot visit, since Miguel accidentally removed her photo from the ofrenda. Miguel discovers that he is cursed for stealing that dead and must return to the land of the living before sunrise, or he will become one of the dead. So to do so, he must receive a blessing from a family member. Imelda offers Miguel a blessing in the condition he ends his dream of becoming a musician, but Miguel refuses it and resolves to sneak into Ernesto's blessing instead. So he meets Hector, who declares that he knows Ernesto and offering to help him reach him. So Miguel asks him to take his photo back with him, so that he might be able to visit his daughter before she forgets him, causing him to disappear completely. Hector then helps Miguel enter a talent competition to try and earn Ernesto's mansion, but however, Miguel's family tracks him down, forcing him to flee. When Miguel sneaks into the mansion where Ernesto welcomes him as his descendant, Hector eventually confronts them again, imploring to Miguel to take the photo to the land of the living. Ernesto and Hector renew an argument about their partnership in life. Miguel then realizes that when Hector decides to leave the duo to return to his family, Ernesto poisoned him and then stole his guitar with his songs, passing them off as his own to be famous. So basically, Ernesto got jealous of Hector's music and that, so he decided to kill him in order for him to be famous. Like, wow, very jealousy right there, Ernesto. Very, very, very much out of jealousy. See. But however, though, to protect his legacy, Ernesto seizes the photo and has the security guards throw Miguel and Hector into a cenote pole pit, where Miguel realizes that Hector is his real great-great-grandfather and that Coco is Hector's daughter, to which that's revealed later on. After Imelda and the family rescue the duo, Miguel reveals the truth about Hector's death, and Imelda and Hector reconcile, so the family infiltrates Ernesto's concert to retrieve Hector's photo. Ernesto's crimes are then soon exposed to the audience, who jeer at him and is thrown off the stadium. He eventually gets crushed by the giant bell the same manner that he originally died in the chaos. However, Hector's photograph is lost, and as the sun rises, Coco's life and memory are fading. So Imelda and Hector bless Miguel so he can return to the land of the living. So eventually, after Miguel plays the song from Remember Me that Hector wrote for Coco, she brightens up and sings with him. She then later reveals that she has saved a torn off piece of the family photo with Hector's face on it, and then tells her family stories about her father, thus saving his memory from as well as existence of the land of the dead. Miguel's family reconciles with them, ending the ban on music. Eventually, this takes place 1 year later, where Miguel shows the family ofrenda, to which now includes Hector and a recently deceased Coco, to his new baby sister, Socorro. Coco's collected letters from Hector proves that Ernesto stole his songs, destroying Ernesto's ill-gotten legacy and allowing Hector to be rightfully honored in his place in the land of the dead. Eventually, Hector and Imelda rekindle their romance, joining Coco and the rest of their family for a visit to the living, where Miguel and the monarch continues to plays music for their relatives, and thus how the movie ends. I honestly really do find this story to be, really good. I actually really like that the storyline was, well made and made with this story. I mean, when I first saw this movie, there were parts of this that kind of made me feel emotional, but, there was some sad parts in it. There's some really emotional parts in the movie, but I still found it to be enjoyable regardless. So, basically, when the development started sometime when they were pitching ideas for the film Toy Story 3 in 2010. Essentially, the film was about to be about an American child, about usually the film, surprisingly, was going to be about, the American child learning about his Mexican heritage and while dealing with the death of his mother. Eventually, the team decided that it was the wrong approach, so they decided to focus on people from Mexico instead. Of course, they found, that the script for the movie was tough to crack, but they started the animation sometime in 2016, and eventually it was released in 2017, and that's when people started to really like the concept and stuff about this movie. So, anyways, this movie had some really kind of messed up controversy or something. I believe back in, 2018, there was a bit of controversy regarding this movie, saying, news outlets discovered that Disney PIXAR failed to disclose the producers of Coco had based the other character of Mama Coco on Maria de Salad Ramirez Calabero in the De Percricia village of Santa Fe de la Lengua in 2018. So, I don't know why there was some controversy, but there was. But like I said, I actually really like the animation for this movie. I mean, it's really damn amazing. That, I know Disney Pixar has done pretty good movies like Toy Story, Monsters Inc., and a few others. But holy hell, this one honestly does pretty good. I mean, I really like the songs of it. I thought they were amazing. The film actually has a pretty good storyline. It's got good acting, and I really do like how the film ends up having some pretty funny parts too. But when it came to this movie, I honestly was surprised of how good it was. Like, when I first saw this movie, I honestly really fell in love with it. Being a Disney fanatic, I've actually seen, some of this to be, enjoyable in a sense. I mean, yeah, there was parts of it that looked okay, but I mean, despite that, the songs, the animation, everything about it was pretty good. And I'm really liking the concept that it was taking place in Mexico. I mean, I think might have been another Disney movie that took place around there, but I could be wrong, however. But I mean, a lot of Disney movies have like a concept that takes place. Like, for an example, Mulan takes place in China, Lion King takes place in Africa, as well as Tarzan and a few others. I mean, it's pretty good when it comes to, taking a concept from it. Now, I know Disney movies have tried to, have these movies based off of, where they're from and all that. It's actually really amazing. So, writing concept was amazing. The songs were amazing. Animation was good. The storyline, honestly, it was pretty original for a pretty good storyline. So, I gotta really say I honestly really like this movie, and I recommend you guys check this movie out if you haven't. I mean, with all due sincerity, I honestly really like the Dante dog. I thought he was a pretty neat character. Although he didn't speak, I still thought of him as a cool, dog character sidekick, so to speak. And the whole concept of them, in the land of the dead, and the whole aspect of them taking that holiday to, be a part of the movie, it honestly really plays a really good part of the movie. Now, despite the controversy that happened in 2018, I still found this movie to be rather well made in detail. Especially with, the fact that this is a really good movie. So, I guess that's pretty much wraps it up because I don't really have anything else more to say about this movie, but I recommend you check out this movie if you haven't. Yeah. So, anyways, with that being the case, and with that being said, yeah, this is just simply my own personal opinion on this movie. If you don't like this movie, that's perfectly understandable. I completely understand if you don't like it. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't like it, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these movies. So anyways, what do you all think of this movie? Did you all like it? Not? Did you think it was okay or whatever? Also, what we have done personally helped make the movie a lot better. Feel free to leave me what your thoughts are in the comments below. This is the Lion Queen, and I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. If you're new here, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications when I upload, and I'll be catching you all in the next video. Peace out.